If you look around the internet, you see that the EdgeFinder is primarily used by swing traders. But you never see a day trader ever talk about how to use it. Well, today you're in luck, because today I'm going to show you how to use the EdgeFinder as a day trader. If you're new here, my name's Daniel. I trade prop firm challenges and break down prop firm rules, restrictions, and all the fine print so you know exactly what you're dealing with before you risk your hard-earned money. So if that's something that resonates with you, be sure to smash the subscribe button. So let's first talk about what the EdgeFinder is. And the best way to explain what the EdgeFinder is it's like a Bloomberg terminal, but for retail traders. Now, a Bloomberg terminal, if you wanted access to something like that, it would probably cost you somewhere around the range of $20,000 to $24,000 a year. Whereas with the EdgeFinder, it costs $600 to $1,300 lifetime, depending on if you get the discount. If you're watching this in April, you've got a 45% discount. So make sure you use the code DANPR7 and you can get 45% off your purchase. So you can see here, I'm on the EdgeFinder and you can see that I have access to the COT data history. So that's really nice. You can see all the COT, which is everything is public in the CFTC site, but it's a bit difficult for you to actually analyze and interpret that on the website. So what's really nice is this software pulls the data in and makes it readable for you, basically. First, I'm going to show you how I use it as a day trader. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some tips on how you can use it for your particular strategy. I like to look at this area called the top setups. What the EdgeFinder does is it takes all the economic data from all these different areas and basically comes up with a score. So you can see that currently GBP NZD has a very bullish score for 13. And basically that score comes when you add all of these together. And you can see here NZD CAD is bearish with a -6. So obviously the lower the score, the more bearish, and the higher the score, the more bullish. So what I do, which is a bit different to how the other people use the EdgeFinder, because a lot of them are swing traders, what I like to do is I actually like to look for neutral markets. So step one, I go into top setups, as I just said, and then I click here on category, and then you can pick what pairs you trade. So I pick major currency pairs and minor currency pairs because I trade those, but you can also do crypto if you want, indices, etc. And then what I do is I go here on the bias, which is really nice, and I click only on neutral scores. So now I have a little watch list here of all the neutral pairs that I'll be looking to trade. I then go onto my trading view. So now I'm here on the trading view. And then what I would do is I would then flag all the pairs that I want. So Euro CAD, AUD JPY. I think I already did this because I did this earlier this morning. And then what I would do is I would go on all the pairs that I've marked orange, and I would now incorporate my strategy. The reason why I look at neutral pairs is because for my particular strategy, I've realized and I understood the market conditions that my strategy requires, which is important. When you have a strategy, you need to understand which market conditions your strategy performs the best in. So for my strategy in particular, I look for ranging markets, not trending markets. So for me, that's why I don't want scores that are very bullish or very bearish, because that to me will tell me that those pairs are probably trending, and I don't want trending pairs. I want ranging pairs, because what I want is it to be ranging on the 4-hour or 1-hour time frame, because that's how I get my entries. So what I do next is I mark my highs and my lows. So what I would do is I would mark my highs and my lows, and all I'm looking to do is I'm waiting for price to come to one of these areas. So what I would do is I would look for a sweep of that area, and then I would look for a market structure shift as well as heavy displacement. And then I'll enter and I'll target the highs or the lows. And the key with the way I trade is I need to trade during particular windows. I look at 9 to 11 a.m. London time or 9 to 11 a.m. New York time, because those are the windows where there's a lot of market participants, and that's what I need for my particular strategy. So if I get no sweep on those days, then I don't trade. And basically what I'll do is I'll place alerts on these areas, and then I'll wait for those alerts to be triggered. And if none of the alerts get triggered during my session, then I move on. There is no trading day. That happens sometimes. But what's nice is EdgeFinder has gone and quickly made me a watch list that I can use. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a trade that I actually took today. Full transparency, it was a loss. I tried to enter on, I believe it was here. So there was a low. So you can see that there were a lot of lows that were taken out in Asia, and then I was looking for a reversal. And I believe it was this trade somewhere here, and I was targeting this high here. And there was another instance where I would have come out at a break even. I was targeting this high here. I didn't take this trade. I'm collecting data on this particular pair, but you see, I would have got in and then I would have been put into profit for a while, but then I would have got stopped out. But I would have actually been stopped out at break even because of my break even protocol, which as you see moved to break even. So this would have given you a 1.67 R, but I target minimum 1 to 2. And I was looking for this high. So that was a break even and the other one was a loss, but that's on that particular day. And because the EdgeFinder was able to help me find markets which are most probably going to range. Now, the EdgeFinder is not a solution to your problems, and obviously it can give a neutral score and the markets can still be trending. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all approach, but it's a way to put probabilities a little bit more in your favor as a day trader. Now let's talk about how you can use it for your particular strategy. What I would recommend is understanding what market conditions do you need for your strategy. So if you need trending markets, then you'll probably find it more useful to take off neutral, and you'd probably want to just be in very bullish or very bearish pairs. So then this would be your watch list. And then what I would recommend you do, because when I first tried to use the EdgeFinder and I didn't quite understand the market conditions I needed, I was trying to copy how other people used it. So I would be like, okay, well, very bullish. I'm only going to trade GBP NZD and I'm only looking for very bullish markets. But what I found is that actually I ended up losing when I tried to go long on these types of markets where it's very bullish. So what I would recommend you do is take your strategy and get a journaling software like EdgeWonk, for example. Let's create a journal. So let's call it YouTube. So this is also like a little bit of a tutorial for you guys. Let's say deposit date, and let's just say it's today, whatever. Create journal. So you've got your journal here. And then what I would recommend is when you take a trade, you log, long, you put all your data. But what I like is this advanced data panel. And this is how I figured out how the EdgeFinder could work with my strategy. And what you can do here in this custom stats is you can create your own tags. Maybe you take a trade today and you were going long. So you could write EdgeFinder agrees. That's how I did it. EdgeFinder agrees. And then I would make another one, EdgeFinder disagrees, to represent that it's actually saying the other way. So if I'm going long, the EdgeFinder is saying bearish, so you should be shorting. And then I added another one where I wrote EdgeFinder neutral. And you can get really clever with how you do it. You can grab more data, so you could also grab COT data. If you want to play the COT data game, you could add another one here and you could say COT agrees. And you can also create another one which says COT disagrees. As time goes along, you're going to be able to see what parts of the EdgeFinder are most useful for your particular strategy. And then once you've collected enough data, you'll be able to see, I seem to win when the EdgeFinder agrees. So then now you know, okay, when I look at the EdgeFinder, I'm only going to look at markets where the EdgeFinder agrees. Or you might actually find out that you make the most money when the EdgeFinder disagrees, or like in my case, where the EdgeFinder is neutral. And then this allows you to be able to put probabilities in your favor and use the EdgeFinder. And at least you know that you are using a lot of things that the big hedge fund guys use, because remember, at the end of the day, fundamentals are what drives the market. The more data you can use and the more clever you can be in understanding what's going on in the markets, the better it's going to be for you. I don't rely on exiting my trades if the EdgeFinder changes its bias, because my trades I'm in for maybe a few minutes to a few hours, and I'm always out before the news. And the only way that the EdgeFinder actually changes its score is after a news announcement or something crazy has happened in the markets. And by that time, I'm already out. Some other people will use it to exit. Like for example, maybe the EdgeFinder changes its score, so maybe they'll get out or they'll add more into their position. So I really hope that video helped you. And if it did, and you're considering buying the EdgeFinder, there is a 45% discount code if you use the code DANPR7. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.